If you want your AI prompts to be more consistent, more reliable, and honestly just easier to work with, then this video is for you. And this is one of those things I wish someone had shown me a lot earlier. It's simple, it takes about 2 minutes to learn, and once you see it, you'll never go back. All right, here's what we're covering today. I'm going to show you what XML tags are and why they work so well with AI. Then I'm going to show you where they really earn their place in complex reusable prompts and how they snap perfectly onto the RACES prompt framework that you may already know. So by the end of this, you'll have a prompting approach that scales from simple tasks all the way up to full AI automation setups. So let's get into it. So XML, it stands for Extensible Markup Language. Now you can forget that immediately because it doesn't matter at all for what we're doing here. All XML actually is a way of wrapping pieces of information in labels so that whoever or whatever is reading your content knows exactly what they're looking at. That's it. They're just labels. Now here's what a tag looks like. You've got an opening tag. That's the label wrapped in angle brackets. Then your content, and then a closing tag, which is the same label, but with a / in front of it. Opening tag, content, closing tag. Now, you've almost certainly seen this before without knowing it. If you've ever peeked at the source code of a website, you've seen HTML. HTML works the exact same way. For example, you might see this H1, this is a heading, and then there's a closing H1 tag. And that's just a label telling your browser, treat this as a heading. Well, XML works the same way, except instead of telling a browser how to display something, you're telling AI what role each piece of your prompt plays. It's the same concept, just a different application. Now, here's why this actually matters. When you send a prompt to an AI tool like Claude, ChatGPT, or Gemini, it doesn't matter which one, it reads your entire prompt at once, not line by line like you might read it, the whole thing all at once. And when everything runs together in one block of text, AI has to make judgment calls about what each part means. Is this an instruction? Is this background information? Is it the actual question? Is this a hard constraint or just context information? That guessing is where things get unreliable. Think about it this way. Imagine getting the instructions for your new car as one giant block of text. No chapters, no headers, and no index. Everything in there, how you pair your phone, how to reset the tire pressure, what the warning lights mean, how to adjust the seats, all of it is just running together page after page. Now, you could probably find what you need eventually, but it's going to be slow, frustrating, and it's going to be easy to miss something important. Now imagine the same information as a proper owner's manual with sections and headers and an index that takes you straight to exactly what you need. It's the same information. It's a completely different experience though. And XML does that for your AI prompts. It gives every piece of your prompt a label, a header, so AI knows exactly what it's reading before it processes a single word. And when you give AI that structure, you remove the guesswork. And when you remove the guesswork, you get more reliable results. All right, let me show you what this actually looks like on screen. And I'll use a simple example here, which is writing a reply email to a customer who asked about shipping options. So I'm opening with a context tag, and this tells AI who I am and what the situation is that we're in. And then I give it a closing tag. The instructions then are what we actually want it to do. So we have an opening tag, we have instructions, and then we have a closing tag. Then we have an opening tag for shipping details, and this gives the specific information AI needs to answer the question accurately, and then we go ahead and we close it. Then we have a tone tag, which is how I want the email to sound, and again, as you guessed, there's a closing tone tag. Finally, I have an output format tag. It's exactly what the finished email should look like, and that's the description I give here, and then I give it a closing tag as well. All right, now look at that. Every piece of information has a label. AI knows exactly what each part is before it reads a single word of content. And notice something else. This prompt is easy to read. If I need to update my shipping rates, I know exactly where to find them. If I want to change the tone, there's one place to go. Now, I want to be straight with you about something. For a simple task like this email, a well-written paragraph prompt will actually produce a pretty similar result. Modern AI is good enough to parse clean natural language on contained tasks. So where does XML really earn its place? When things get complicated. And let me show you what I mean. Now, I don't want you walking away thinking you need to XML tag every single thing you type into an AI chat. That's not how I use it, and it's not what I'm suggesting to you. Here's how I actually think about it. You want to use XML when, first, you're building a system prompt for a custom GPT, a gem, or a Claude project. These prompts will run over and over again, and the structure pays dividends every single time by making it clear to the AI what you want it to do. Second, maybe you're setting up an automated workflow in something like make.com, where the prompt runs without you being present to clarify anything. When you're not in the room, the structure is going to do the clarifying for you so the AI understands. Third, you might be building a reusable prompt that you'll use across different AI platforms, and you need it to behave consistently every single time. And then fourth, and this one is worth calling out specifically, when you're passing both instructions and data in the same prompt, XML tags make things much clearer for the AI. And let me show you what I mean. When you tag your instructions separately from your data, the AI knows exactly what it's being asked to do versus what it's being asked to work with. There's no guessing about which is which. Now, you want to skip XML when you're just having a back and forth conversation with your AI. When you have just a quick question in a chat window, there's no need for XML tags. If you're just doing a simple one-off request where the ask is clear and it's just a sentence or two, you don't need to use XML. And when you're already mid-conversation where the context has been established, you don't need it there either. The simple rule that I use is if you're going to use a prompt more than once, or you're building something that runs without you being there, use XML tags. If it's a quick question or an iterative conversation, then go ahead and skip it. Now let me show you what complex actually looks like and why structure changes everything at that level. Hey, before I get into the demo, if you're finding this useful, do me a favor and hit that like button. It genuinely helps other small business owners find this content. And if you want practical AI training every week, no hype and no fluff, just the stuff that works, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss what's coming next on this channel. All right, this is the part where it gets really satisfying. So let's go check out the example. All right, I want to show you a system prompt. This is the kind of prompt that you'd build for a custom GPT, a Claude project, or a gem, an AI assistant that handles customer service for a small e-commerce shop. It runs automatically without you sitting there to answer questions or make corrections. And here I'm presenting it to you without any XML structure. I want you to take a moment and read this. It covers the business, the products, the shipping policy, the return policy, what to say, what not to say, when to escalate things, how to handle special requests, and how to close every conversation. It's actually pretty well written, but look at how it reads. It's just one long block of text with everything running together into everything else. Now ask yourself, if my return policy changes tomorrow, where exactly do I find it in here? You're reading the whole thing, and if I need to add new escalation rules or update my shipping rates, well, that's the same answer. You've got to read the whole thing, find it, and hope that you're not missing anything. Now, here's the same prompt with an XML structure. It's the same information, every single word, but look at it now. My role definition is here. My brand voice is here. My product knowledge is here. My policies for shipping and returns, they're all here and they're clearly separated. I've got my escalation rules listed out here, and I've got my special instructions at the end. And if my return policy changes, I go straight to the policy section and I'm done in 30 seconds. And if I need to add new escalation rules, I go straight to escalation rules. Nothing else gets touched. And this is the part I really want you to think about. This prompt is going to run every time a customer starts a conversation, whether it's 2 p.m. on a Tuesday or midnight on a Sunday when you're nowhere near your computer. AI reads this cold every single time. The more clearly it's organized, the more reliably it's going to behave. And the less organized it is, the more AI has to interpret and fill in gaps on its own. And that's the real value of XML. Not that it magically improves a simple email prompt. Modern AI is good enough. The clean natural language handles those things just fine. The value is here in the complex reusable prompts that run without you. Structure is what keeps those maintainable, reliable, and under control. Now, if you've seen my races framework video, what I'm about to show you is going to really click immediately. Now, if you haven't seen the races framework video, I'll link to it below because it's worth watching. But stick with me here because this will make sense either way. Races is the prompting framework I teach for building high-quality AI prompts. And there's 5 elements. Role, who should the AI be acting as? Action, what do you actually want done? Context, what does the AI need to know to do this job well? End result, what should the finished output look like? And specifications, what are the constraints, rules, and guardrails? Now, watch what happens when I put XML tags on these. These two things were designed for each other. The races framework gives you the 5 things every solid prompt needs. And the XML tags give each of those 5 things a clear label so AI knows exactly what it's reading. And when you're building a complex system prompt, like the customer service example we just looked at, you can use races as your organizing framework and XML as the structure that holds it all together. Every element has a place and nothing gets lost in a wall of text. It's not just a prompt anymore, it's a system. It's something you can build once, save, reuse, and update in seconds, trusting that it's going to run reliably every single time. Now, before you go try this, and I want you to try this today, there are 3 quick things to watch out for. First, over tagging. You don't need to tag every single sentence. Group related ideas under one tag. For example, if it belongs in context, put it all inside the context tags. You're creating structure, not a full filing system here. Second, inconsistent tag names. Pick your tag names and stick with them. For example, if you use end result in one prompt, don't switch to output in the next, especially if you're building a prompt library. Consistency is what makes those reusable across different AI tools and helps keep everything straight for yourself or someone else who might be working with those prompts. Third, don't forget to close your tags. Every open tag needs to have a closed tag for it. The AI will usually still work if you forget, but it's sloppy and occasionally causes unexpected results. So just make it a habit. Open the tag, write your content, and then close the tag. Done. Those 3 things cover 90% of what trips people up when they first start using XML. So there are 3 things to walk away with today. First, XML tags are just labels. They're not code, it's not a technical skill. It's just a way of telling AI what role each piece of your prompt plays. Second, simple prompts on contained tasks don't really need XML, and that's fine. Modern AI can handle clean natural language perfectly fine. XML earns its place when prompts get complex, reusable, or automated. Third, combined with the races prompt framework, you have a complete system for building prompts that are organized, maintainable, and reliable at any level of complexity. That last one is the big deal. You're not just writing better prompts, you're building something you can save, update, hand off, and trust it's going to run without you. And that's where AI starts saving you real time and real effort. Now here's what I want you to do right now. Take a prompt you already use more than once, something you've built before and come back to, and rebuild it using races with XML tags. Remember, role, action, context, end result, and specifications. That's your starter set. Drop your content into those 5 tags and see how much cleaner it looks. If you want the full races foundation before you do that, I'll link that video below. And one more thing before you go. XML structure and races will make a real difference in your prompts, But there are 15 other common mistakes that can still undermine your results, even when your structure is solid. I put together a free guide that covers all 15, what they are, why they cause problems, and exactly how to fix them. It's called the AI Clarity Guide, and it's linked in the description below. So grab it. It's free, and it pairs perfectly well with what we've covered today. And it'll plug the gaps that structure alone won't catch. I'm Rob Fernango. This is the AI Growth Accelerator, and your success is my mission. I'll see you in the next video.